Want to welcome y'all, all the new additions. We had a crazy championship game. The game was tight. The game was good work. The commentary was off the chain. The venue welcomed us with open arms. We had a record set of eyeballs. And we'll get to all of that in a hot minute. Welcome to the SFL podcast, folks. I am Mighty RX, better known as Max Paul, owner of The Storm, now host of this show. And I'm joined by Shan Varner, who is the owner and of one of the championship game participants, Chicago Wildcats. Shan, talk to the people right quick.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here.
And we are also joined by my consultant, former consultant, now owner, expansion team winner, owner, CEO, CFO of the Red Devils.
The Red Devils in the house, baby.
Mr. James Richards. James has the feel to be called boss.
Man, I like it, except this time of year. There's so much to do. There's so many calculations to make. I think this is the worst part of the year, but it's also the best part. So it's pretty good so far. I like it. A lot of good players that have verbally committed to the team, so I'm excited.
And, without further ado, we're going to get into the thick of things. This past Wednesday on Twitch, we had our ninth championship game where the Aztecs took on the Wildcats, and it was a game of gigantic proportion. The game started out, both teams just feeling out each other. One threw a blow, one blow, the other threw another blow. At the end of the first, it was a tied ball game at 3 apiece. And then Mexico City slowly started to pull away. For every time, they went up 17-10 at halftime. Ray Bentley couldn't be stopped that night, but it seemed that every time Mexico City was trying to run away with the game, the Wildcats found an answer to kind of bring the game back to within a score. But it was the Ray Bentley show. As Damon said, that was a grown man running the football Wednesday night, and the Aztecs are our current SFL champions. They won the game 38-24. Shan, we'll get to you in a hot minute. James, you watched the game. Tell the folk what you saw unfold and your opinion of it.
Well, we saw a lot of cover 3 out of Chicago. And we saw, Mexico City take advantage of that. They said, all right, they're going to take away our deep threat, and we're just going to pound the ball. And I didn't think Shan's defense was really built to handle that. Not that he didn't game plan, because I talked to him several times. That dude over game plan probably. And Mexico City just said, we'll run the ball. We'll hit the ground as much as possible. And when they start to take that away, they're going to have to do something fundamentally different to do it. And then we'll hit them over the top when they change. And that's pretty much how we saw the game unfold.
Fair enough. Now, mind you, at halftime, it was, like I said, it was 17-10, and it looked like Chicago was, trying to get their bearings, and maybe they could find a way to start moving the ball, because the big issue I saw in that game is the fact that they just couldn't run the ball on the Aztecs. It felt like every time they tried to hand the ball off to Dion, he was facing 15 defenders. It's almost like they knew what play was coming. And without that balance to kind of help, E.T. King, have a tilted field or even an even field, 2nd and 6 became 2nd and 10, 3rd and 2 was 3rd and 8, and having to face those odds, he could not overcome them, throughout that evening. Shan, we spoke earlier in the week. Give me your thoughts as you saw the game unfold, and your final thoughts after everything was wrapped up.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say, congratulations to Ramos. Heck of a game plan. What I saw unfold is we were, like you said, we were kind of filling each other out. But from the Wildcats' perspective, it was just poor play calling. One thing I'm going to take away from this game, this loss, it hurt the whole team, but we just did not play Wildcat football. That's the bottom line. We did not do what, got us to this game. We over prepared, like James said. I think we just had those 2 weeks of preparation, and we used every minute of it, and we just overthought a lot of things, and it showed in our performance. We tried to run the ball like Houston had done previously in the season against Mexico City, and we were just not able to penetrate that defensive line. And when you don't get positive yards with your running back, you're forcing the quarterback to make decisions, and the decisions he was trying to make was throwing it into double coverages and things like that. So, all around, we just had a poor game. I think defense, they tried really hard to stop Ray Bentley. We did have some stuff in there to cover up the middle to stop him, and but Bentley's a beast. Once he got up through the middle there, and shed one block or two blocks, he's gone. Clint Hendershot did a really great job, containing him for the most part. I think he was the only guy that was trying to play for the W there. But, after all that being said, going back, I think just our play calling was a big issue, and, we just didn't play Wildcat football.
Thank you very much for that. Going, such in depth, Shan, about what you saw transpire. And again, it was, like I told you earlier this week, I know the wounds are still a little fresh, but dude, you're an expansion team. You had a ridiculously successful season. Like E.T. King balled out, your defense was almost lights out, and it's just the ball just didn't bounce your way on Wednesday, and that's all it takes for a game to go awry in a quick minute for things not to, for one or two plays not to go your way and to go the opposing team's way. So
yeah, and Ramos is Ramos is a great coach. I mean, he basically played this like a veteran coach coming in this, and I played it like a rookie. And he just knew what could shut us down, and he played lights out. I mean, I look up to the guy. I think the world of Ramos, and I couldn't have asked to lose to a better coach in the SFL.
Well, speak of the Aztec, and the Aztec shall appear. Ramos, thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, we're kind of breaking down the championship game and what transpired throughout. What did you see in the game, and tell us your final thoughts as the game was winding down.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. It was kind of like a special game for us because at the beginning we led a huge drive. We were on defense and we led a huge drive led by E.T. King. And we were lucky enough to have our defense hold and, just let them get 3 points. And then I just think that our offense just played good enough as far as, Matt Wilson. He only threw 13 passes, but it was 12 completions of those 13 passes. And the incompletion was actually interception after our interception from Devin Cabrera. So as final thoughts, I would say that, very happy on how the game was, done by our team. So, 30-something carries by Ray Bentley. Then the backup came in and scored a touchdown as well. The offensive line played lights out, and our defensive line just containing those gaps and let Jack Brown get those tackles on Deion Hawkins. I think that was very, very important, for us to win the ball game.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And again, congratulations to the Mexico Aztecs and Mr.
Thanks.
Ramos, my kicking brother, um, on being the season 9 champs. Now, realize coming into season 10, the bullseye will be squarely on your back and expect every team's best shot. Because believe you me, they're coming for that crown.
Yeah.
So what I want to touch upon though, that also kind of is related to the championship game, was that not only was, to me, the game was a good game because it didn't get out of hand till late. It always looked like Chicago might have been 1 or 2 plays away from being able to tie it up or even take the lead. So the game was good. The presentation for the game was top notch. The commentary kept you engaged with that 3-man booth between Cam, another one of the expansion winners in Ryan Moats and Damon Simeon. That was dope. But we had a record set of eyeballs watching this game. We had way over a hair under 1,300 people was our peak watching this game. That is bananas. Ramos, I saw in the chat earlier in daily discussions how you were saying that, dude, at one time there are barely 3 people watching the game, 4.
Right.
Dude, can you imagine a little under 13? That is crazy.
Yeah.
So, what'd you think of that?
Well, yeah. I mean, when I joined the league back in season 3 with the Baltimore Crabs, there were games where only about 8 people, 10 people, maybe tops about 16, 17 people were watching. And then slowly but surely that increased to about 22, 25 people a game, then to about 30, 32 people a game. Last season, or this season rather, in the regular season, it was about 45 to 50 people a game approximately on the primetime games. But now to see about 1,200 people watching the game is, it was kind of overwhelming at one point, because you're with the nerves on, hey, what if my team just completely does not show up in some Denver Broncos Super Bowl 48 type of ball game, So, I'm happy that we were able, Shane and myself, to have a good game, because it really did not get out of hand until very, 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 very late. First quarter ended 3-3, and then at halftime it was 17-10. So it was a very good ball game all the way out. And as you said, Chicago was a few plays away really from really controlling the ball game. So, it was a little bit overwhelming to see 1,200 plus people watching.
Shan, what do you think of our turnout that night, man? That was crazy.
It was crazy. The sad thing is I just got my butt handed to me on national TV in front of 1,200 people. That's one thing I didn't like. But, the game itself was a great game, but the turnout was just amazing. I mean, couldn't ask for a better turnout.
James, coming into this game, I knew we'd have like a record set of eyeballs. But I knew coming in as well that not everybody's a football fan.
Right.
But dude, I was expecting 6, 7. Dude, we almost had 1,300. That is, man. Like, what'd you think of that?
I expected it. I had anybody who knew anything about me, I had come from Twitch as a Twitch partner, and the organization I ran had been on the front page, 10, 15 times. So I knew that we were going to get a large influx early. And I knew, Ryan Moody, the people who've been viewing his videos the last couple of days knew that he was getting involved. So I knew there'd be an influx of those people. Now, the part that surprised me was how many concurrent viewers stayed throughout the broadcast. Like, we retained quite a bit of those initial people who came in. And so generally how front page works is, they give you the front page, you're on the front page of Twitch, all those people check it out because they're like, what is this? And then, if they like it, they stay. If they don't, they don't. And so you generally lose about half of that burst in the beginning. And the fact that we were able to maintain, 600 to 800 most of the night, like, that's really good.
That's awesome, and we've had such an influx of rookies since that game. Rasty said it was something over. We're last I checked was around 100 to 120 new faces, and we want to welcome all y'all to the SFL family. We're gonna have a ball. Season 10 is gonna be something ridiculous. Y'all have no idea. Y'all thought the championship game was off the chain, man. Just welcome aboard and be ready for the ride. Speaking of rookies, I congratulated Mr. Richards in being CEO of the Red Devils, but that wouldn't be fair to not also congratulate the three other winners. We have Dion Hawkins. Y'all saw him Wednesday night perform. He's the running back for the Chicago. Well, he was the running back for the Chicago Wildcats. He will now be running the ball for the Tulsa Desperados. So congrats to Dion for winning that bid there. We also have our webmaster, the simulationfl.net didn't just appear out of thin air. Somebody had to put this thing together, and that somebody was Liam Crowder, our resident Englishman, who is on holiday, I believe. He couldn't join us tonight. He wanted to jump in, but he's busy traveling. He'll be running the London Knights. So yes, we'll be going across the pond to see the Knights in action this season. I really like their uniform too. It's nice and clean and simple, but you get the point. Like there's no mistaking them for another team. And last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Ryan Moats, who is the owner of the San Francisco Sharks. That's our, so those three, including James Richards, which makes four when we thought we had two. Cam, nice curveball, by the way. Gentlemen, what do y'all think about these 4 teams that we're adding? If y'all want to speculate on alignment and stuff like that, the floor is yours. Ramos, take it away.
Well, thank you. Something tells me that the San Francisco Sharks will like to run the football. Yeah. Something tells me that they were able to run the football, and the same goes to the Tulsa Desperados because of Dion Hawkins. But it's very intriguing to see what Liam Crowder is going to bring to the table. I'm not sure what to expect from him. I obviously think that he will have a very good team, but I'm not sure what his approach will be. It's going to be very, very interesting to see his roster. It's just kind of like a question mark for most of those teams because, for example, Ryan Moats has not been, for example, a coach or coordinator, so I'm not sure what his philosophy is going to be on both sides of the ball. Dion Hawkins, I'm not sure what he's going to do on the defensive side of the ball. So I just think it's very intriguing. It's very exciting to see how it plans out to be. So I'm very excited to hopefully face one of those teams and let's see what happens.
Shan, your now former running back is running Tulsa. You want to touch upon him and the rest of the expansion winners and kind of give me, seeing that you just finished your expansion season yourself, give them a little, tip or two about what to expect.
Yeah, sure. Well, with Dion, he's a good offensive guy. He knows the game of APF offensively. Defensively, I'm not sure. So I'm not sure exactly where he's going to go. With his team, he may stack it deep on defense because he doesn't know that much about it. But offense, he's got that down pat. With the other candidates, I'm not sure where Liam would go. I think Liam would be more of a defensive guy than offensive. So I look for him to put forth a good defensive team. James, I'm really not that sure either. He could go either way. He had a particular build last year that didn't quite go his way, but I think he learned some things from that. So I think his build this year will be much more improved. And I still think he's more of an offensive guy than he is defensive. But, we'll have to see. Going with Ryan Moats, probably He's going to have a heavy offense. Not saying that he doesn't know defense, because to know offense, you have to know defense. In order to run through those holes, you have to know defensive strategies in order to do that. So I'm excited to see what he puts together. Alignment, I'm really not sure. If it's going to be an East Coast meets, mid lines and East Coast lines, I'm not sure. So I'm not really sure on the lineup there. So that's my take on it.
Awesome. James, as I told you earlier, welcome to the fraternity.
Thank you, sir.
If you want to touch upon, the other three winners, and you kind of had a taste a little bit of this rookie, this influx of rookies and their exuberance. If you want to share that a little bit.
Yeah, I really respect the enthusiasm that the rookies have brought to the SFL. It's like a new breath of fresh air, So I'm excited. With that said, just stay respectful, guys, and try to respect each other and respect all the owners. And with that said, when you're courting different teams and the different teams are courting you, just be respectful to everybody. Let them know where your head's at. Let them know you're shopping around. There's nothing wrong with that. But just be respectful at the end of the day. As far as the owners go, I think like Shan was saying, that Ryan Modes, I don't know what he's going to do. So that'll be exciting to see. Deion Hawkins, I'm not sure what he's going to do. Ramos hinted, maybe they'll run the ball. Yeah, that's a thing. That could be it. But I think
guess right there.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, Deion ran the Chicago offense, for Shan. So it's not crazy to think that we'll see a very Chicago-esque offense, down there in Tulsa. So I would expect, the way the season went, when you see St. Louis and how one-dimensional we were, with our unorthodox build, and then we saw Cleveland and Dallas on the complete opposite spectrum, being one-dimensional in their builds. I think everybody's going to take a step back and be like, well, okay, both of them had their moments, but maybe balanced is the way to go. And, defensively, what you guys can expect from me is going to be similar to what you can expect from Mighty, considering I had spent the last couple of weeks under him in the season. And, he's a defensive guru, and he just opened my eyes to it. So, and then, as far as our offense, you can expect a much more balanced offense coming out of us this year. So
appreciate the kind words, James. Before we run away, because we're trying to keep it, high and tight, I just want to alert y'all to the off-season schedule. Monday, October 30th, the day before Halloween. That's in 2 days. The veteran re-signings period begins. That means anybody that used to be on a certain team, that's their chance to re-up with that same team again. That begins on Monday and runs through Friday, November 3rd. The free agent and rookie signing period begins November 6th, which is the following Monday, and runs through wow, that's a long period. It runs through November 27th, which is the Monday after Thanksgiving. And then we're finalizing rosters the 30th of November. All right. We're gonna have a roster reveal show sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yes, that's very nebulous, but that's how the schedule is for right now. I might have something up my sleeve. My own self, I'm in chatter right now with a couple teams to see if we can get, maybe some scrimmages going to give y'all, a little action before the season actually begins, kind of deal. Got a roster reveal show to present to everybody what everybody's final roster going to look like. Conference alignment reveal show within that time period between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Playoff structure reveal show. And we got preseason battles, league sanctioned preseason battles as well. We're going to have 9 games. So we got a jam-packed off season. Don't fret. I know these new guys that are in there, they're antsy. They can't wait to see themselves on the field, ready to thump people upside the head and and hurt some folk, or catch touchdowns and leave defenders looking silly, with broken ankles here and all that good stuff. But hang tight, folk. Everything in due time, everything in order, and in no time flat, you're gonna see yourself on the field when it's for real. Last but not least, this is my second closing. I might have a third. Last but not least, don't forget any rookies that are holler at some teams. Go to simulationfl.net. Click on the team that you would like to play for, or whose owners you like to get their attention. Actually, you know what? I'll do you all one better. I'll present y'all the website so I can show y'all what to do and present to everyone. So that way y'all can know what to do. All right, y'all see the website. Ooh, Simulation FL is on point. Thanks, Liam. All right, let's say you want to play for the Red Devils. So you click on the Red Devils logo. Don't mind me, my computer slow as dirt. Oh, my bad. I clicked on the London Knights. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so right here, become a part of the London Knights. You will click on that plus. Right there, you'll see a drop-down menu. Quarterback builder, running back builder, fullback builder. In there, whatever position you want to play, you'll click that. You'll play with the attributes a little bit. When they are to how you want them to be, you'll submit that. There will be email sent to that owner, and he'll reach out to you, and y'all could continue that conversation at a later date. See, that simple. It's not nobody's pulling teeth. It's not like sitting in the dentist's office and having to dread that. It's a simple process. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. We try to keep it high and tight, so that way it's presentable to folk. People ain't falling asleep while listening to our voices. Gentlemen, if y'all have anything to add, now is the time.
Okay, yeah, I do have number one, for the newcomers, just please stick around. Trust me, the off season is just as exciting as the regular season, because it is, how the teams will prepare for the next campaign. And I do see a question here from Dark Moon Akuma. He says, what kind of impact will the new player progression have on the game? Well, it's gonna be everything, because first the players are not gonna be as phenomenal. Maybe the first weeks of the season you're not gonna see Ray Bentley, or you're not gonna see an E.T. King, but as the season progresses, you're going to see those players develop from being rookies, from being all right, to being just amazing players. So the impact will be just off the charts, and it's what we are trying to approach. For the players to have a saying, for the players to feel that they belong, and that they are doing the work. So just please stick around, and very exciting times ahead.
James, you got anything you'd like to add?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Shan, you good?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm absolutely agreeant with Ramos there, because we see it time in and time out through seasons, and maybe the season doesn't start so well for you. Maybe your team goes 0-2 or 0-4 or whatever, but stay by your team's side. I think that the biggest thing that I can say to you guys that are coming in that's new is, even though I had a team of veterans and we lost games and we won games, we stayed tight. We stayed together. We gave each other encouragement, and we just didn't leave because our team was losing. We stayed tight. And I think that's one of the biggest thing that helped us get through, the games and preparing for the next game, is that the camaraderie that we had between one another didn't change from one game to the next. We stayed with it, and we went all the way to the championship. And there's not many teams that can say that. I was down when I talked to Mighty. I was like, man, we just didn't do what we needed to do to win this game. And it comes down to me. Even though I had coordinators, it comes down to me to make those final decisions. And I chose poorly. But, going to the next season, it's not going to affect us. It didn't affect us. Our team, didn't get down because we lost. They were ready to go to the next season and win it again. So, stay active, be there for your team, whatever team you choose. And that's all I have, Marty. Thank you.
Oh, not a problem. I want to thank all of y'all for joining me tonight. I want to thank all of y'all listening for joining us tonight. Man, like I said, for y'all rookies, y'all have no idea this journey y'all about to embark on. Once y'all land on a team, it's gonna be crazy, and the season moves ridiculously fast. It feels like, I don't know for the rest of y'all, but for me, it feels like the season just started yesterday, and it's already done, and we're already in the off season. So, just y'all get in contact with owners, and just like James said, just be ready, be respectful, but be ready, because when your number is called and it's time to move, it's time to move. So for Shan Varner, owner of the Wildcats, for James Richards, owner of the Red Devils, for Ramos Lynn, my kicking brother, owner of the champion Mexico City Aztecs, I'm Max Paul, Mighty RX, owner of the Alaska Storm. Yeah, for a minute I almost forgot the name of my team. That's sad. Signing off. See y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Deuces.